Welcome back to the Academy of Magical Thinking. Today I'm going to show you how to create a still life drawing. A still life drawing is a drawing that focuses on still objects, things that don't move like household objects and flowers and fruits and shoes and etc. I'm going to use flowers as the focus of my still life drawing today. For this project, you will need pencil, paper, and an eraser. I'm going to draw the still life on my whiteboard to make it easy for everyone else to see. Now turn your paper to the vertical position. I draw two parallel lines to represent the edges of the table. This table has one big leg in the center, so I draw the top part and divide it with two lines. The bottom part of the leg is simple. It's just two parallel lines and I'm done. I want to draw the back of my table before I draw the objects on the table. So I remove everything so I can see the table better. Okay, I draw a narrow half circle to complete the top of the table. It's a round table, not a square table, so I want to round off the edges. I erase the straight lines on both edges of the table and curve my parallel lines. I want to draw the curtains in the background too. I make a couple of curvy lines going down and then some curvy lines on the top to represent the folds of the curtains. Now that I've finished drawing my background, I can set up my still life again. There are three objects on the table. I make sure I have enough space to add everything. I don't want my objects to look squished. I make a rectangular shape to start my picture. I draw a narrow oval at the top to represent the opening. I make a little shape at the corner of the rectangle. I attach the shape with a slanted line. Now I've created my spout. The handle is a lot easier to draw. It's like a half square shape. When I finish my picture, I make sure I have enough room on the table to create the vase. I start my vase the same way I started the picture, by drawing a rectangular shape. The vase is bigger, so my rectangle will be bigger too. I draw the narrow half circle at the top again to indicate the opening. I even draw a narrow oval below to indicate the water in the vase. I add my rock shapes inside the vase and even add a little extra shape at the bottom of the vase to make it look more fancy. I start with the stem of the flower. I make a long curvy line. And I make long teardrop shapes to make the petals of the flower. I have two flowers in my vase, so I make another stem and add the petals at the top of that stem. Sometimes adding so many petals gets confusing because many of them overlap and it's hard to draw each one. My drawing doesn't look exactly like the flowers, but they look good enough to me. I make curvy lines to create the stamen on the flowers and color in an oval shape at the end of each one. Now I add the spots on the tiger lily. To make the leaves, I draw long, curvy, spiky shapes along the stem. If you have a pencil, shade them in lightly, or color them in if you're using color. I still have enough room on my table to draw the basket. I begin by making an oval shape. I draw a straight line on top, and I make a skinny line on the bottom for the base of the basket. Next, I make the handles by creating arches. The opening of the basket is very curvy, so I replace the top straight line on my basket with a curvy line. I erase my straight lines and draw another curvy line behind the first one so I can show the other side of the basket. I use lots of slanted lines to show how the basket is woven. I make all slanted lines going in one direction. Then I make more slanted lines crossing them in another direction. Remember we practiced this technique? Remember the name? It's called cross hatching. I finished my picture by adding some green leaves poking out from my basket. Now I have a finished piece. I may even add some color, but first I'm going to show my mummy. I hope you're proud of your still life drawing too, because it's time for me to go for now. But I'll see you next time at the Academy of Magical Thinking. Bye-bye.